This is a very quick tutorial, but I think it's one of the most important lessons that I've learned, and don't learn this lesson the hard way. This is a video about how to make an audio backup on an external recorder from the H6. One of the most important things that I do with all of my audio recordings in every single one of my podcasts. What is up, Mersation? Javier Mercedes here, and on this channel I do video tech tutorials and an audio podcast. If you're into that kind of thing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and let's jump right into it. I had my SD card crap out on me when I was recording John Cena. I was the audio engineer on the Chive podcast. We flew out from Austin, Texas to Washington, DC, and we had like an hour slot with John Cena. Got to the very end of the podcast, I hit stop on the recorder and the SD card gave me an error, and it was like, hey, guess what? Your file's corrupt and you better hate life because you're probably gonna be fired after this. Luckily, I'm a smart guy, and I was running a backup on an external recorder. Now, on this tutorial, I'm gonna be using this H4, but you can literally use anything that can take an 1/8 inch, or you could convert the 3.5 millimeter from your H6 to XLR with a connection like this into the recorder. So if you have something like a Tascam or an H1 Zoom, use that. If you have a computer and you can get it into the computer, use that. My main concern here is don't just rely on your main recorder for your backup. Say your SD card gets corrupt or fills up in the middle of a recording. Both of these things have happened to me. There's one big thing that I think will be a huge through line. Oh no, it's not recording. But we got the backup.
Okay. Weird.
No, it's completely fine because I know we have it on the.
Yeah.
Run a backup.
Yes.
I love it. Let's go ahead and get into the tutorial, and I hope I've stressed that enough. Please run a backup on your recording. And even if you don't want to follow this step-by-step guide, at least if you're doing something like a podcast or a long-form interview, just get out your phone and hit voice memos and just put the phone in the middle of the room in between your guest and you as the host or whatever's happening, and get some sort of backup, because nothing is worse than doing a whole interview and not having any audio. Right now on my Zoom recorder, I have two microphones plugged in, and let's just say channel 2 is the guest and channel 1 is the host. And we want to separate those so we can get them onto my H4n. Now how this works is we're gonna go into menu and scroll to this little microphone symbol, click into it, go to monitor mixer. As you can see right here, track 1 pan, let's say that's our host. I'm going to go up on the wheel and notice how it's now panning it over to the left. Good. Now I'm gonna scroll over with the wheel to check track 2 and pan over to the right by going down on the wheel. The reason we're doing this is because it will now separate the host and the guest on 2 separate channels. So if you ever get into the situation where you have to use your backup, now you have isolation between the guest and the host. One last thing is, if you had a 3rd and 4th microphone being used, you're just gonna have to make a game time decision on what channels you want those to go out into your external recorder. The next part to check is our line out level. Now, this is gonna be completely dependent on your levels for your microphone, so don't take my word for it. But before, I used to have this at 0 and it was distorting my external recorder. So make sure to, like for me, I go minus 25 dB, and that does a pretty good job. The next thing you wanna do is use any normal 1/8 inch headphone jack to headphone jack. And where this is gonna go is make sure it doesn't go in your headphone jack. This is not what you want. What you do want is the line out, because now you can also listen to your levels on the headphone jack, and then by going out of the line out, it's not gonna be an amplified signal. This is just gonna be a straight audio line out from your mixer as we've set it up in the H6. Take this line out. This goes into whatever external recorder that you have, but for me, I have the H4n, and where this goes is in the external mic, and not many people know about this on the back of the H4. Plug it into the external mic of the H4, and now, instead of using this stereo pair on the H4, now by plugging this external mic in, it actually supersedes the external mic. So you wanna hit mic. If I were to hit record on this guy, now watch this. Channel 1 is now only going to the left channel on my external recorder, and then channel 2 is only going to the right channel on my external recorder. Check, 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 which is awesome. That's me talking into both. So I hope a setup like this is something that you're running, but that you will never actually need in practice, because if you do have to go to your external recorder That means something happened with this. Some people might ask, like, what happens if this recorder goes down? Like if the power goes out on this or something like that, then this recorder won't be getting any signal. In all of my experience doing many podcasts, nothing like that has happened. It's either I run out of SD card space on this recorder on accident, or something may happen, like a corrupt file on the SD card. If anything like that happens, I've been just sending the audio signal through to my H4n. So I hope this kind of setup helps you in that regard. If you're curious about the rest of my video podcast setup, I'll link a video here on the screen, as well as put in the description down below all the items that I talked about in this video. Till next episode, live a life of abundance, and I'll see you guys on the next video.